He's the stylist who gave women of all shapes and sizes the confidence to strip for the nation. Now he's dishing out advice to 30-something singletons desperate for a date.
With top tips on how to attract the opposite sex in his brand new series, Gok Style's Secrets. Gok Wan's playing fashion fixer, matchmaker and flirting coach, teaching women what to wear, say and do on a first date.
My favourite outfit at the moment is 1960s French pirate clown.
French what? This is a scaremongering outfit, as far as I'm concerned.
I like a fancy dress party, and so I made a complete Iron Man costume.
What you talked about is probably where we've got a bit of an issue.
That's going to be really hard.
Hello, I'm a woman. I'm not an androgynous goth. You have got fine breasts. What happened with the undercut guy? Totally clocked you as you walked over.
I never looked this sexy.
She looks incredible.
You kind of look like a sexy Judge Dredd.
Mwah. Well done, you.
Oh, well done. No, that was from last week's episode.
That was last week's, yeah.
This actual idea you've had in the back of your mind for a very long time, because we know that you've made women look fabulous and feel
fabulous. Thank you very much.
For a very long time, and we thank you for that. But what you've done here is kind of taking it that step further.
Yeah, it's almost like the older sister to How to Look Good Naked. That's the way I look at it, is because we had to take that show on, and it's still about the body confidence, it's still about the self-esteem. But one thing that I had in common with one thing that all the girls have had in common over all these years of making the makeover shows has been that when it comes to finding themselves, that's one thing, but the next stage is about them finding their confidence either in their relationships or finding a relationship. So it felt like a really good, natural progression to get there. And so, yes, it's taken us a few years to get to do it.
There isn't the catwalk here, so it's...
No catwalk. I know. It's very low-key, actually, for a show, and it's really intimate, and you get to know the woman, and it's loads and loads of fun, and it's all basic stuff as well, but the kind of stuff you take for granted, like the whole idea of walking into a bar and a guy talking to you, you know, for some of us, it's quite easy. You just talk back, you take a drink if you like, and if
you're either a natural flirt or you're not, I think.
Exactly. But we all flirt every single day. We flirt, you know, when we're at work, we flirt. When we're talking to our friends, we flirt. When we want to get our own way, we flirt. And it's about homing in and really harnessing all of that stuff and knowing how much you can do it and how much you don't need to kind of practice so much that it becomes out of context, if you see what I mean. So when people put it on, it's sometimes going to be quite intimidating.
Well, you said that us women can waffle when we get a bit nervous.
Yes.
That's kind of a big thing that a lot of us do.
Or talk about ourselves. I mean, we've all done it. We've been on those terrible dates where you're not sure whether you fancy them or not, if you really fancy them, and what you end up doing. Look at her. What you end up doing.
Yawning. I hate to tell you.
Yawning.
She's so bored of what I'm saying. So bored.
Get on with it.
but we do it, and I think one thing that we do is we go into autopilot. So we're on a date. Philip, you and I are on a date right now. I'm trying to impress you. All I'm going to do for the next 2.5 hours is talk about myself, talk about my dog, talk about my job, talk about me, and at the end of it...
This is my job. This is my life.
Well, I sit here and
people talk about themselves.
Absolutely, but this is the one thing. This is the one thing that all these women have got in common, and making this series, it really highlights it.